It's very serious. If you don't
But
know
the
what you're doing,
difference,
they could snap you
but
up.
what's the difference? The difference is, back then they weren't dealing with fiat notes.
Okay.
They were dealing with gold and silver coins.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's fraud to send money in the mail. Money, real money. You can't send gold in the mail or silver in the mail to somebody.
But they're still sending people to prison for like 3, 5,
Yeah.
5 years for silly shit.
Right?
That should be thrown out, but they're still sending them to prison.
Right?
This,
Because they were dealing with the fake currency. And then, and this was a letter, like when they're talking about the writing campaign orchestrated by Garvey's wife. She didn't orchestrate no writing campaign to get to get her husband out of prison. It was when Noble Drew Ali went to meet with him. Because of who Noble Drew Ali was, they released Marcus Garvey. Because he was the prophet. Ain't no different than when Jesus saved John's behind. By letting people know that guy is the forerunner. Don't do anything with that guy, because that guy is coming to let you guys know that. Like, so if you do something to him, you guys are gonna know about me. Right? He went and got him out of prison, nationalized him. Because that was the power that the prophet had. Based on his status, based on him being indigenous to the land, being that he's Cherokee. And he looks like us. He was a Cherokee. And he had the power to nationalize.
They had people
The
in
Moors.
Pakistan where you call Cherokee. The same were darker people of the so-called, you call Indian today, or it was darker complexion from around at least, no, same place in the Americas there.
Yeah.
It was darker, what people that you could mistake them for the same thing where they are us. Everybody comes from the same tribe, but
Right.
I'm just saying to you, say, well, no,
Exactly.
you could mistake them for us because we're so dark and everything.
No, but
They were.
but
They
that,
were.
but that they were us.
They are, but that's they are. But may I say, you know what I mean? The
Yeah,
way
that's
the way
according
it is
to
here
the
today,
brand,
the whole
right?
according to the whole thing
Yeah.
right now, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like Christopher
Because-
Columbus came here and said they're just as dark as the Ethiopians.
Yeah.
Because up to this day, like in those tribes, they have what they would call the conventional Indian today, and those people will tell you about people who look like us, their ancestors, and some of them don't even know, and they will call them Indian or whatever, and not know that we're one and the same.
that's what I call hidden colors.
Yeah.
But they're all there.
Yeah, exactly. They're all there. All right. Words from a UNIA hymn. Father of all creation, Allah omnipotent, supreme over every nation. God bless our president. He declared before an audience at Liberty Hall in Harlem, New York, 1922. Everybody knows that Muhammad was a Negro. Negroes on this side of the river had accepted Christ, while on the other side, many of them had accepted Muhammad. The administration was not endeavoring to bring Muhammad into the Western world. Muhammad was not in need of change. He was a colored man anyhow.
a lot of misquotes there.
Right?
A lot of misquotes, I'm talking about the wording that it says there.
Yeah.
Same thing, I try to-
Colored Negro,
Yeah.
not in the Western world. All contradictions there.
All contradictions. Right? Show the pattern of messing with people's stuff. Messing with what people say about somebody. Right? Especially when, like when we do the research, we found out that he was taught by Yusuf Muhammad Ali. So why are you even talking like this? Like why didn't you even change UNIA to Negro improvement to something different? You know? Because you're going against your own teachings. Garvey was given the power to nationalize all the Guardians. He was given the power to tell them, come, I'm your president. I'm nationalized by the prophet. Come with me, let's go to the Moor Science Temple. That's why they deported him. That's why they got him out of here. Same reason why they got Noble Drew Ali out of here. Because the people were followers. And there was no leaders. Even the so-called people who were being trained to be leaders were followers. So all you have to do is kill the head and that's it. And it's done. Same thing they did. And then by the time they got to the NOI, those guys just played their card and said, go take the check. And took the check. And that's why they're the most successful black liberation whatever to this day. Mention NY, everybody knows who the Nation of Islam is.
Where are they getting their check from again?
You know, whoever's willing to pay. I heard Scientologists are paying now. These guys are on some Scientology now.
Yeah,
Tom Cruise and all that stuff.
yeah,
Like,
that's
that's
true.
what they're on now,
Well,
Scientology.
Farrakhan doesn't deny that.
Yeah, they promote that.
Yeah.
That they're on Scientology right now. They got away from the teachings of Elijah, and now they're in some Scientology.
What was that European guy's name that, can't recall his
I can't
name right
remember
now.
his name, yeah.
But he was saying, they were being funded by the
Same
KKK.
people that fund the KKK. Is
Yeah.
it the David Icke? David
Probably.
Icke.
That's-
David Icke.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Probably.
Yeah. Same.
Right? This is Rabbi Arnold Ford, rabbi of the Moorish Zionist Jews in Harlem. These three became a core and active group of Moorish Jews within the UNIA, who studied Hebrew religion and history and held services at Liberty Hall, the headquarters of the UNIA. Ford's contributions to the UNIA, however, were not limited to his musical matters. He and E.L. Gaines wrote the Handbook of Rules and Regulations for the African Legion. He served on committees, spoke at rallies, etc. And then if you look at his turban, at the top of his turban there's a black thing, and then that's the tassel sticking up. Because of the connection that the Moorish Jews had with the Moor Science Temple and Prophet Noble Drew Ali, they changed their custom to accommodate the Prophet. That they would wrap their fezzes in their turban. And the tassel showing is just to prove that we're Moors. Don't think that we're some Jews that's from Israel. That we're Hebrew Jews. That we're the Jews that created the Jews.
Could I ask a question? That statement, Moorish Jews, remember we were talking about Jewish earlier?
Yeah.
Should it say more Jew, more
Well,
Jews? Well, more, you know what I mean, the
Yeah,
whole
the
analogy
ish,
of them
the
Jewish.
idea of the Moorish is that we are descendants of Moroccans
Yeah,
born in America.
okay,
So we're Ish.
okay.
We're not the Moroccans, but we're descendants of the Moroccans, which makes us Moroccans, but not really.
Makes us a
Or
group of
more- or
people.
Moorish.
That stands for like a group of people, right?
Gotcha, gotcha,
ish
just like the
stands
Jewish,
for-
oh, okay, gotcha, all right.
Right?
I
It's
get
like
what
Jewish.
you're
You know,
saying.
it's
Gotcha,
like-
yeah, yeah,
Ish.
yeah,
Ish.
We're not
Yeah.
Jews, but we're
Yeah.
I mean, the word
Yeah.
ish.
yeah,
kind of them,
yeah.
right?
That's good.
So the Moorish movement started in 1913 that we talked about last time. Talked about the traders in the movement, right, and them going to great lengths basically to bury Noble Drew Ali and bury what he was bringing and get the people in a state of chasing after their tail, right? And then last we started about the alterations in the literature that Noble Drew Ali had. So all the stuff that we have covered today was to just give us more to go on with regard to the history of Moors in America. That it's not a thing that Noble Drew Ali brought. Like Noble Drew Ali brought Moors. No. He was just upholding what he was part of. He was just reestablishing. He was restoring.
Reaffirming, reconnecting.
Reaffirming this legacy that is buried. Right? And with regard to the questionable alterations, when you get your 101 questionnaire, which is the book with Noble Drew Ali on the front holding the sister, there's going to be two versions when you read it. There's going to be a version that says, and said Moorish Science Temple of America adopted as its corporate name the following Moorish Science Temple of America. And then there's going to be, and said Moorish Holy Temple of Science adopted as its corporate name the following Moorish Science Temple of America. Right? So why would Moorish Science Temple of America adopt as its corporate name the same name? When the idea of adopting something is to create change. Right? Like when somebody adopts a child, they're not adopting that child because it's theirs. They're adopting it because they can cause a shift in that child's wherever it is, which is why they have to be adopted. And however they carry on with that child throughout their life would be the transition from not being adopted to being adopted.
So just to be correct, the Moorish Holy Temple of Science is what Noble Drew Ali founded before the assassination.
Before
Both
the
of them.
assassination, right.
They founded both, but
Yeah.
then the group, but he did that knowing what was gonna happen. And then the group that took over after his death continued as that? or
They
is that-
continued as Moorish Science
Moorish
Temple of
Science
America.
Yeah,
And then there's a misconception
The
that
misconception.
started 1913.
Yeah,
yeah,
right,
When it
because
didn't.
that's what they push.
yeah,
They pushed Moorish Science Temple of America since 1913.
yeah,
When Moorish Science Temple of America didn't come until 1928.
yeah.
And that's the prophet's words. That's why they tried to bury the literature. Because in the literature is majority of the keys that you would need to see the treachery that we're dealing with in the Moorish movement. Which is more cutthroat than the European treachery that we're complaining about.
Yes.
Because it's closer and
You know,
it's more
These guys
disguisable.
are in your face, like.
It's
The thing that
disguisable,
gets-
right?
The thing that gets me, why, if we're resurrecting and trying to set ourselves in the right knowledge, why would they do this to each other?
It's the,
Like,
Car-
I mean,
Karmic debt.
What's the test? If you're seeking the truth, you have to go through the tests of finding out what exactly the truth is. So
Yeah.
it's not supposed to be easy.
No.
It's not supposed to be easy. You have to
it was
find-
it was already there.
It's
It
there.
was already there, that's
Yeah.
just, it was already there, but why are we acting like demons? Well, I'm not gonna say, I'm putting myself
Yeah.
back
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
back in time. Why would we do this to ourselves?
yeah, for the check.
Ego,
Yeah,
ego.
the check.
But
Why-
if we're already running things, you know,
Why would we
don't
create
teach it?
Europeans to be our slaves? No. That's way before that.
Yeah.